All right, guys, welcome. Welcome to the podcast. This is the Dirt on Gardening podcast. I am here with here we go. Welcome, everybody. This is the Dirt on Gardening podcast with Derek, the Chocolate Botanist, and Urban Gardening with Gray. I'm going to sit up straight today. So, what's going on, guys?
I had some fun today.
You had some fun today? All
What you
right.
Uh,
do?
are we
What did you
getting
do
a little
today?
bit of a feedback loop? Where you hear me two times?
No,
I'm
I
only
only hear
hearing
you
you
once.
once, I think.
Okay. Just had to check my tech. I got out in the garden, was fighting some poison ivy.
Ooh.
Now I know that's a problem that a lot of people have, poison ivy. I've never had poison ivy in my garden. So what do you do about poison ivy?
Well, I'm hitting it from two approaches. Let's see. Because I'm hearing myself and it's making me pause when I talk.
Well,
So
you
it's
go.
a weird
You
thing.
you fit. See if you know what it's because you're hearing yourself in your Bluetooth.
That's what it is. Let's turn this volume down.
That's what it is. And see, while he's doing that, I want y'all to know
All
if
right.
you really
Let's
want to
see.
get rid
And
of
then I'm gonna
poison
turn the volume
ivy,
up on the
you
phone.
have to get Arnold Schwarzenegger
There we
because
go.
he has to come in and freeze it all out. Go ahead.
Okay. So you guys can hear me okay now?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so what did I end up doing? I'm fought it from two avenues of approach. I'm killing back the foliage with some acetic acid. That's going to be the strongest version of your household vinegar. So, I mean, that's as acidic as you can possibly get and still be able to buy in stores. So I went with some acetic acid for the foliage. So, of course, I'm walking through it. Uh, and then I'm going to, after all the foliage has died back, I'm going to hit it with my tiller because the problem with poison ivy is that root system is so complex, and I mean it's a perennial. It's going to keep coming back and it's going to keep on spreading. It's highly invasive. So that's what I was out there doing today, and I got to tell you guys, it's so funny because my kids start school next week. We're homeschooling them, but they start school next week, and so my daughter came up to me and she said, "Dad, this is the last week of summer." I was like, "I know, boo." She said, "You shouldn't be out in the yard working. You should be relaxing and having some fun." I was like, "Well, you're an adult. You got to get it done when you can."
There are no summer breaks.
No breaks. What
All right.
about you? What you guys up to?
Derek, what's going on with you, brother?
What is going on with me? Today I woke up this morning. God woke me up this morning, and I was a little bit ashy. But even though it's Monday, the Bible says Ash Wednesday. I had a beautiful work day. I've been watering my plants. They have been so great. My berries and cream mint has been bringing me so much joy. There's an announcement I was going to make. I almost slipped, but I can't make that announcement yet. But I was just interviewed for a local newspaper. So I'm feeling really good. It's a beautiful Monday. And I'm here with my
That's
favorite people.
that's a pretty awesome day.
Thank you. What
Nice.
about you, Andre? What's been going on
Well,
in your world?
But wait,
well,
Does that mean you're internationally known and locally respected?
You know I'm all of it. Okay, the people love this chocolate. I'm gonna tell y'all about why they call me Wonka later, but that's for an after dark show.
all right. Well, anyways. So listen, this weekend I had to move my son down to university. He's moving to an apartment at University of Miami. So he's going into his junior year, and someone said we're echoing. There's an echo on YouTube. Somebody said, but
There's an echo on
anyways,
YouTube.
yeah, somebody just said that. So I'm moving him down there. So it's a 4 hour drive basically from here to University of Miami. So we drive down in the morning. I'm thinking that I'm going to get home before it gets dark. Um, but we stopped at IKEA because we had to buy furniture for his apartment. And we bought a bed, a dresser, a desk, some chairs. And if you've ever put together IKEA stuff before, it doesn't happen quickly. So we were putting together furniture for about 4 or 5 hours. Didn't get home till around 1 o'clock in the morning, and we had a mango tasting at my house here. and I had a couple creators over here, and we did a mango tasting, which you guys can see on YouTube coming up soon. As soon as I get the footage from them, I'll post it on my YouTube. I'll post clips on Instagram and TikTok as well. But we did a mango taste. I took 5 mangoes from my garden, and we did a mango tasting, and it was actually pretty good. It was really exciting. It was really intense. We had a really good time, and then we did some grafting, and that was the end of my weekend.
So wait, you did the mango testing at night when you got back?
No, we did mango tasting the next morning.
Oh, I was about to say, like, man, you are a champ. And everybody who came over to your house at night to taste some
No, no,
mango.
no. We had 5 people over. We did a mango tasting. So we tasted boy, Kent, um, ice cream, Malika,
Hold on just a second,
Namdok
Andre.
Mai.
Folks are
Hmm?
saying they can't hear you on Instagram.
You guys can't hear me?
Which is amazing because I can hear you on Instagram.
Okay. What about now? Can you guys hear me? Oh, Urban Harvest said the mango tasting sounds pretty upscale. And there was one other mango that we tried as well. I can't remember now. But anyways, it was really good. The Malika and the Namdok Mai were the winners of the for the taste contest. For the
Nice.
tasting contest, I should say. Yeah.
Nice. You know, speaking
Okay.
of mango, you know, the other day my kids were hanging out at the pool, and so I made them some smoothies to go hang out at the pool with. Right, I chopped up some fresh mango in there, a little bit of watermelon. I know watermelon isn't your cup of tea, but what else did I put in there? I put a bunch, some strawberries and such. And the kids saw the mango seed. They said, "Dad, you're a gardener. What are you gonna do with that seed?" I was like, "Nothing." I was like, "But you're not gonna try to grow it?" I was like, unfortunately, no, guys, we can't grow mango here unless I found a cold tolerant mango. I was like, it's not worth the effort. And then I went down that whole road of, it'll take 12 to 15 years. That tree could be 30 feet tall before we even get a first mango. And it was just like, they were heartbroken. Like, but we thought you could grow anything. I guess I'm Superman to my kids or super gardener. They're like, Dad can grow anything. So I'm like,
Well,
no, we can't do it here.
Well, someone asked a question about Hayden mango. Yeah, I have tried Hayden mangoes. They're very good. They're kind of a middle of the road mango, but they're solid. When I say middle of the road mango, those mangoes are infinitely better than anything you get in the supermarket. So they're still great mangoes, but they're middle of the road for sort of a homegrown mango. They're very juicy, very sweet, good mangoes. Now, let me ask you guys a question. 'Cause I know that we have a lot of people that freak out about GMO and all this stuff. If I could take a gene out of an apple tree and put it into a mango tree, and you could grow mangoes in your zone, would you eat those mangoes?
Sign me up. Yes, definitely. All day long, twice on Sunday.
Yeah, yeah, it seems pretty obvious, right? But yet people want to vilify GMO as something that's just terrible off the bat, right?
Yeah.
When really I think they're mad at the corporations, but they're not, they shouldn't be mad at the process because the process can be used to do some pretty cool things. Like I think that would be awesome if you could make a cold, hardy mango tree.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
Like,
but it's like that. Whenever there's new technology or something that we're not familiar with, we as a human being, we as a mankind, we get real trepidatious about it. And if there was just more good information like what we're doing here, I don't know, maybe we could turn the tide.
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like bad information gets pushed so much more. Then I'll tell you what, I'll tell you one bit of misinformation that I fell victim to for a long, and literally I just got freed of it today. I'll tell you this. Deodorant, aluminum in deodorant.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, my buddy told me, hey, there's aluminum in your deodorant. You should look for aluminum free deodorants because that can lead to Alzheimer's and other problems as well.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a video today on TikTok, and the guy said, first of all, antiperspirants may or may not have aluminum, but deodorants don't have aluminum. Like Old Spice, all those deodorants don't have aluminum to begin with.
So it's just the antiperspirants they're saying that might have it in.
Some of them do.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I've been buying like the non aluminum, whatever. And now I feel like a little bit of a sucker because I'm the guy who, like, when I see the seeds and they say non-GMO, I purposely do not buy those seeds because they say non-GMO when all the seeds there are non-GMO.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they are not trying to sell you these it took millions of dollars to, in a lab, for somebody to formulate this genetically modified seed variant. They are not trying to sell it for $2 at Walmart. It's just
Yeah,
not
they're not at the
realistic.
Dollar Tree.
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, Dollar Tree seeds. How do you guys feel about Dollar Tree seeds? Because there are some people that are seed snobs. Not to be rude or anything, but there are some people. We lost Derek on Instagram. But there are some people who are like, no, I only buy my seeds from X or Y or Z. But how do you guys feel about seeds from the Dollar Tree?
I'm perfectly fine with seeds from anywhere because what makes your food good or healthy or unhealthy, first of all, any vegetable or fruit you're growing is healthy. Like, there's no bad fruits or vegetables. So I want to get people off of that completely to begin with.
Get them
But
off of it.
whether a food is organic or not is going to be dependent on how you grow it, not where you got the seed from. So you decide whether you want your food to be organic or not by how you grow it.
And I think the one thing of nuance, because I could already see somebody doing this, because I've thought the same things or said the same things. Organic is technically how you grow it and not whether the seed is GMO or not. But legally, like the government standards, organic seeds are non-GMO.
Right.
So
Now,
it's a legal designation versus a scientific designation. And we just have to
right.
keep that in mind. That's all.
Exactly, exactly. Now, Johnson, Denisha asked, I think people hear GMO and they think some weird chemical lab science is involved. There needs to be a clear explanation of what GMO means. Now, I'm going to say one thing about that off the top. Something being chemical or lab or or science, none of those are bad words. None of those are anything that would discourage me from having something because it was done in a lab or done with chemicals or done with science, right? Because everything we grow is done with science and it's done with chemicals, right? Water is a chemical. Everything's chemicals. But
I
how
mean,
would you guys define GMOs? What would be your definition of a GMO?
Derek, you want to take this one?
Sure, a genetically modified organism is not just simply breeding. Because some people will be like, well, you bred that as a hybrid, and that's a GMO, and that is not the case, friends. When it comes to your genetically modified organisms, I am taking a gene out of one unrelated organism that they could never ever make it last forever by Keith Sweat with, and then I'm putting it into another organism, right? So an example is taking a strawberry that when it's frozen, it becomes all mushy and nasty, and taking a gene out of a trout or a frog that can handle being frozen, and then putting those together. The genes mean these strawberries can now handle that shipping, right? But when it comes to people's idea of genetically modified, because you're thinking of a lab and because you're thinking of what people typically show you online, some person in trench coats, lab coats, and overalls and like hazmat suits, you just lose your mind. And I understand, because if I didn't work in the field, I would believe the same thing. But again, I think we just have to consider GMOs are mainly to save folks money on one end, to make something last longer on one end, or in the occasion just designer fruit.
Right. And
Or
also,
disease resistance too.
yes.
Yes.
And I feel like the sort of the blanket, and someone made a comment here about soybeans and cooking oils and to make profits in corporations. People have to separate corporations from the tool, right? The tool is just a tool, right? It's not good or bad. Like, there are countries where people literally will die and starve to death because their governments will not accept GMO corn or GMO rice or things that can grow in their climate where they currently can't grow something, and they have an alternative where that they could grow and feed their people with that is perfectly safe. But there's so much hysteria and misinformation around GMOs that people literally die because of this. Like, millions of people die because of this.
You know what? I
And
got it. I know what did it.
Say
This is
it.
a movie we've all seen.
Get us free.
Jurassic Park. We watched Jurassic Park and we saw them taking them genes from them frogs and putting them in the dinosaurs. And then Jeff Goldblum said it, life will find a way. And ever
He
since
did
then,
say
we're
that.
like, no genetic modification. And they keep making Jurassic Park. I think a new Jurassic Park just came out. That's what it is. Jurassic Park has scared the folk. Everybody is nervous about GMO because of Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park made me want to get more GMOs. I want to see animals come back that have been extinct. I think that'd be so cool.
I'm glad you thought that. The second Jurassic Park, I cried myself to sleep in the theater because I was so scared in the first 5 minutes. Remember the little velociraptors that ate the children and everything? I
Right.
cried myself to sleep in the second one.
Well,
And I
you were
was like,
probably
this
like
is
5
terrible.
years old back
I
then.
was 8. In the second one, I was 8. I was 8 in the second one, 7 really in the second one. And I was like, this is scary, and I'm just going to go to sleep. And I don't think I ever saw the end of that movie. I think I woke up and it was the credits. I just did all of that. So that's what GMOs can do. They make you cry. But no, when we are thinking of GMOs, everyone up here is perfectly right. And I think somebody said in the comments, like, they're bred. We have to change that terminology. A genetically modified organism is not bred to do anything. They are created.
Right.
They
And
are
people
literally modified to do that.
Right. And people sometimes confuse the GMO with like how we just domesticate and breed different varieties of certain things. And I think that one thing that a lot of people don't realize too is that there's no food in your grocery store that would exist in its current form without humans. Like none of those fruits, none of those vegetables, like early, humans didn't walk around eating apples and pears and stuff like
You're
that.
telling me the people that are selling the alkaline fruits that have never been bred and touched by humans are lying to me, Andre?
Very much so, very much so.
I
Now,
guess I shouldn't get my sea moss from them anymore either.
now, 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 Giovanni said, I think he went to say generally modified is just bred to handle glyphosate. No, that's not the only thing. Like I know, believe there is corn or whatever crop it is that is made for that particular reason to handle glyphosate. But some are made to be more insect resistant, so you can use less pesticides. Like a lot of
Yeah.
them don't require the pesticides that a normal crop would require.
So
Right.
there's Roundup Ready and BT Ready and like any other thing, but it doesn't have to be just that. Like there are so many applications for genetically modified vegetation to like even supplement golden rice. Golden rice, I believe, was genetically modified to be able to produce vitamin A because there's a deficient in some people who are like eating a bunch of rice who don't get that vitamin E in. And if you have like large populations of the world which eat a bunch of rice, and you can then say, well, look, you can still get this cheap thing and get more nutrients in it. It's a benefit. It's a win-win.
Right. Right.
Speaking
And
of cooking rice, y'all know I'm originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And growing up,
Mm-hmm.
we made rice with everything. And it
Oh,
wasn't until I met my wife that I realized that not everybody eats rice every day. Because she was like, why are you cooking rice? I'm like, I mean, we having beans, so beans. No, I just take my beans without. I'm like, no, they have to go with the rice. That just don't work. That don't sound right. And so, yeah, it wasn't until I was what, 30 years old that I realized that, yeah, not everybody eats rice every day.
yeah, well, my parents are Caribbean, so we eat rice with everything too. Like rice is just a staple with everything. I tried. Have you guys tried growing rice yet?
I have not.
No, but I know you started. How is yours going?
I've failed at rice 3 years in a row. I've
Mhm.
failed at rice, but I'm
Ah,
gonna try again next spring. I'm gonna try again next spring.
You
I
know
I,
what?
got a
I
Let's
friend
do
that's
that.
grown some.
Let's do that because I said that I was going to do rice, man. You pulled the trigger, and then I just, ADHD, I completely forgot. So let's do that. Let's both do like a
like
rice challenge. You know
like
what, Derek? Yes, you're going to join in on this too. Let's all do a rice
because you can do
I
it
challenge.
in a
really
pot.
will.
You can do it in a
Yeah,
pot.
you could do it. I have a friend that does it in Fuquay, like an hour or so away from me. She's grown, right? So let's do it. And to the
Yeah,
person that's like, do we have to have GMOs? We don't have to have anything. We don't have to have running water or electricity or the internet, but they do make the world a little better.
exactly. Yeah, none of these things are mandatory. They're coming. Science is working on the dodo bird and the woolly mammoth. Um, yeah, Well, I didn't realize, and the woolly mammoth apparently is closer related to the Indian elephant than the African elephant, and the
Right.
Mm.
African and Indian elephant aren't really that closely related,
No,
which is
genetically
crazy to
speaking.
me. Yeah,
So I know we got a couple of questions in here, and Andre is going to be scrolling up for those questions. But I got a question for you. Okay, have you eaten today, friends? Have you? What did y'all two eat today, real quick? Y'all eat yet?
I had actually I had some cornmeal porridge today for dinner, but I had pad thai for lunch.
Okay,
Um,
pad thai and cornmeal porridge. That is very intriguing. You got to tell me what it looks like. And then, Gray, what you have today? What you eat?
You know what? I don't think I've eaten today. I cooked dinner for my family. I made some jambalaya and green beans,
Uh-huh.
but I haven't eaten yet
All
because I
of you
forgot
who
to
are
eat.
watching, all of you who are watching, tell me if you've eaten. If you have not eaten yet, I want you to keep watching this and get you some food and get you some of this pepper sauce. This is a lead into a commercial. That's right, we're doing it because this pepper sauce, I put this stuff on everything. I would, that's explicit. We're not going to go there. Caught myself. This thing tastes good on everything. Now, this is the hot, right? Those of you who don't want the hot, I got the not so hot, the sweet in my refrigerator because I
there's your
put it
nuts.
on some tacos, right? And it was delicious, right? We see people who are having falafel. Somebody said they had corn and roasted peanuts. This will go good up there. Kiwi salad and pepper sauce and cheese. This is pepper sauce right here. You can get you some today from Andre the Farmer. Look at him. His hands are clean. He's got a good face, right? You don't want nobody with a bad face making your food.
Got
So
all
go
my
ahead and get
teeth,
you some
all
today.
my teeth
Every
still.
one of his teeth is in. Okay. And I know some people who ain't doing math, they doing meth, but he is not. So with that, get you your pepper sauce today. What questions we got, Andre?
All right. Well, first you got to tell them where they can get it. You can get it on Amazon and you can get it at
Yes.
andrethefarmer.com. Andrethefarmer.com is all natural. 8 different fruits and vegetables in here. Bam. All right. Enough of that. All right. We have a question here. I
Right.
have a beautiful Christmas cactus that blooms a lot, but really needs repotting because it outgrew the pot. It's curly in. Do you recommend doing that or should I leave it be? She's special to me. So what should they do about that? I've never grown a Christmas cactus. I probably couldn't pick one out of a lineup.
Oh, you could. I've shown it on videos. I've shown it so many times. What are you talking about? I show it all the time. So,
I don't
Christmas
retain
cactus.
information.
I'm starting to notice that. This is okay. I'm not hurt. I am. I'm going to cry after this. When it comes to Christmas cactuses, right, if it's already blooming, I would leave it be while it's blooming because the bloom, right, the bloom can really last for, I think, a week. I've had blooms on mine under a week. So I would wait. And then once it's done blooming, then repot it because I don't want to just interrupt that bloom cycle. Now, would I do it while it's blooming? Yes. But especially since it's special to you, enjoy the blooms, enjoy the vibes, and then go ahead and just repot later.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I concur. I totally concur.
Okay. Easy one.
Yeah.
Grafting. Ab said she needs a grafting 101. What is it? What can I do it on?
Oh,
Andre,
don't
this
y'all
is
teach
all
that
you.
on
You the
y'all?
graft king.
Well, I
Yeah.
do a lot of grafting, and there's multiple reasons why you would graft. I graft, number one, I graft because it's fun. But grafting is just taking a branch or a part of one plant and connecting it to another plant. And you're going to trick that plant into believing that that new part of the plant has always been part of the plant. So now that plant will be feeding the new branch that you gave it. So in the case of fruit trees, when you buy a fruit tree from a nursery, that tree has already been grafted. Tree, a mango tree, an avocado tree, those are all grafted trees, which means they planted a seed, they got a little seedling, and when it got about a pencil thickness, they took a branch from a known variety and they grafted it onto that and they cut the top of it off. So now that one branch becomes the whole tree. And now you have a tree that is whatever that branch, the tree that branch came from. I have videos on YouTube, Instagram. I have longer videos on YouTube explaining how to graft, step-by-step tutorials. I have endless videos on grafting. The other reason too is to have multiple fruit on one tree. Like I have a property where I have a very small yard and I have a citrus tree, a lemon tree. but I only have room for one citrus. So I'm going to graft all the other citrus onto that one tree. So I'll be able to get lemons, limes, oranges, grapefruits, all from one tree.
Yes, and
So
proverbially make a Franken tree, right?
a
And
franken
Andre's
tree.
even done that grafting live when we were at PlantCon Orlando, and we did a live session, and it was fantastic. And it was, what were you grafting when we were
Mm,
in Orlando?
Avocados. We did avocados there.
yes,
Now, why would
avocados.
someone graft an avocado? We've talked about this multiple times. Why would they do that?
Well, because in avocado seed and you wait for it to grow, it could take 6 to 12 years to fruit. You could have a tree that's 20 feet tall and have no fruit. And then at the end of it, when you do get a fruit, it might be a fruit with a seed the size of a baseball. There might be no flesh in it because they don't grow true to seed either. So there's multiple reasons why you want to graft a fruit tree, especially an avocado.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Even when
This
talking
is
about
dope.
somebody maybe growing in containers, growing in small spaces too, you can graft and you can control the size of that tree so that you can prune it and keep it down, and you can potentially grow your citrus right there on your balcony if you're living in an apartment or a condo or something like that. So it's a great utility.
Yeah, you're really controlling the size. Like you can get them gigantinormous or smaller. This is beautiful.
Hmm. Now, okay, I got a question for you guys.
All right.
All right, so I was doing some research because I was
Hmm
having a conversation with our gardening community over at Better Gardener last Thursday. And we were having a talk because I had questions about, the community had questions about organic alternatives to a rooting hormone. So, I know a lot of people get hung up on what's organic and what's not, but I use a rooting powder a lot of times when I'm doing like some of my propagations. For instance, like I just propagated some blueberry cuttings that I have here in this pot here that I'm going to start putting in the ground. Maybe this fall, maybe next spring. We'll see how the cuttings do. And so they were asking questions about alternatives to using the IBA, the I. Not Derek's gonna have to help me with this because I pronounce things all kinds of
Ibutyl, ibutyl. I
in
actually just looked this up a couple of days. Indobutyl
endobutyl.
abscissix. IBA. That's what they need
I,
to know.
IBA.
IBA.
IBA. So, a lot of people, get hung up on the chemical and say, I don't want to put chemicals in my garden. So, but we know that everything is made of chemicals, right? But I did look up some alternatives. And let me ask you guys, have you ever heard of using willow water? Now, I
Yes.
know, okay. Because I was wondering if you were gonna have a problem with the water, like, wait, is this banana water? Willow water?
I've
What's
I've heard about this in classes. So
I've heard of willow
willow,
too. I've heard of using willow. Yeah.
I've heard about this in classes. Willow, the actual like genus, like all those different trees, are supposed to be so easy to root. There's a creator who has done like willow bending, like window graft, not even grafting, like taking long willow branches, putting them in the ground and making like trellises and living artwork. It's amazing work. And the premise is supposed to be that you can take the willow, you basically soak it in the water, and you would get, because they have such high levels of that abscisic acid, ABA, which is the natural compound, that you would be good to go. I've tried to look up, because I feel like I learned about this at state. I tried to look up some stuff to like really verify and authenticate that, and I couldn't. So I just go along with it, at this point, I'm just kind of like, I remember hearing about it, but I can't remember if it was like, don't tell the people this, kids, or kids tell people this. I can't remember. So I'm just going to go with it.
So the interesting thing, well, first I want to hear Andre your thoughts on Willow Water first, and I'll tell you my findings.
No, no, I think that it might be viable, but I feel like this is a case of worrying about the wrong thing. like, like, I, there's some things in this world that just don't need to be organic. Like it's like I want my car fixed. I want it fixed organically. Like what? Like, yeah, it's rooting
Yeah.
powder. Like you're growing a tree off of this thing or a plant off of this thing. I feel like if there's something in the rooting powder that specifically has an effect on certain people or whatever, then fine. But also, this thing is going to break down. It's going through a tree and ultimately to fruit 5 years later. I don't know. I feel like that's a lot of worrying about the wrong thing. But hey, if the willow water works, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
It's something where I'm sorry to interrupt you, Greg. It's something where there are a lot of people who are like herbaceous perennial growers who enjoy those herbaceous perennials, like Cheech and Chong did. They would use aloe and honey and cinnamon because there's different they're worried about what the inputs are into the plant and how that could then be expressed into something that you're going to ingest. But even with anybody, when you are using rooting powder, it's going to be, and I've never looked this up, but out of your plants, I'm sure within a month, there's no life where that's going to be a forever part of your plant, even to fruit. And I know a lot of people will be like, use aloe gel and I use honey. Those things may help you have more success with rooting, but those are not rooting hormones. And as long as we're saying that, I am perfectly fine. But when we're like, I use aloe vera gel and it's my rooting hormone, you was a dirty liar, a dirty knock me liar. And I
Right.
just don't want to lie to the people no more. Go ahead though, Greg.
No, no problem. I mean, I love this conversation because, yeah, I agree with Andre. Like, now, would I use willow water if I had access to just all these willow trees? Maybe. If I had willow trees growing in my backyard right now, maybe I'll take some branches and I'll cut them up and I would use it if I had access to it. But they don't
Mm-hmm.
naturally grow out here. So it's not like I'm going to drive in my truck several hours away to East Texas to go find me some willow trees to get this compound. But to Derek's point, yes, willow water actually will work because it contains salicylic acid as well as the IBA, the endobutyric acid. And this was a test that was
Mm,
actually done by California Agriculture, University of California. They did a
that is
test to
beautiful.
see what was in there. So you know
Please
me,
send me
guys.
that.
I don't look anything up. I don't give you any information that I haven't done the research and looked up the actual articles myself. So this is actually true. And the process is just like Derek said, where you would take the willow cuttings and place them in water. You would boil them and steep them for about 24 to 48 hours, and then you would get that extract in your water that you could use as a rooting hormone. So if
How
I
about it?
have my folks in here that really just want to use that truly organic rooting hormone, then boom, there you go. But Andre, I think you said it the best. We're squeezing a lemon a little too hard, right?
Squeeze the lemon too hard, bro. Squeeze
We
that lemon
are.
too hard.
And there was somebody who asked, like, what is in like the man-made rooting hormone? It's a synthetic version of the organic compounds that we use. So abscisic acid is, and I only know this because I had to refresh my memory from whole plant physiology. Um, Abscisic acid is the hormone that plants use in order to produce roots, right? It's one of the many hormones that are in plants because they have different hormones, different chemicals, whoa, that have different impacts and effects depending on where it is in the plant and what's the maturity level of that plant. When it comes to using that rooting hormone, personally, the synthetic, it's great for me. The powder is dope. I prefer a powder to be honest, because the powder is cheap. The powder lasts a while, but I've recently gotten a liquid like concentrate. And while it is great to use, because I have to actually measure something out, it's just the laziness in me. It's like I don't want to do this. Like, and it's just, that's a real statement, like I'm lazy. I just want to be able to do tap, tap, go versus the liquid, which I'm sure it works just as well. I've used both. I've had great success with both. It's just I have to then measure this and then put a little bit of water and then like this has to soak for this many seconds and no more. Like the powder is just easier for
Yeah,
me.
powder so easy.
So
Just rub it
go
on the
for it.
ball. Yeah.
Yeah, roll with it.
So we have another
Uh,
question here
mhm.
from Mailed Turd. I have extremely shaded and sandy land in Tallahassee. Any recs on things I can start to grow?
Mm.
Bonus points if it deters mosquitoes. Now, I want to talk about that last sentence. There's really nothing that you're going to grow that's going to deter mosquitoes unless you grind it up and rub it on your body. Like it just growing, like all those plants that are supposed to deter mosquitoes. Like I thought, what's that main plant that's supposed to deter mosquitoes?
Citronella.
Citronella.
Citronella. Yeah, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get these citronella plants from Lowe's. I'm gonna plant them around my fire pit, and I'll have no mosquitoes. Man, mosquitoes live in that plant. Like they live in there. Now, if you break it up and rub it on you, you're good. But otherwise, they live in there. So what are some sandy, shady plants that you can plant, guys?
Did he say
Hmm.
where he is in the world?
Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah, because just about everything that I'm growing right now is going to be full sun. And I'm going to say that I understand your issues because in my growing zone, now I'm in Dallas, Texas, zone 8B, because it just changed again. But anyway, I have a huge, expansive tree canopy in my backyard. And so I'm always searching for the light. Just give me the light. That's my Sean Paul right there. So
Shut
I'm
the
always
boss.
searching. I'm always searching for light, and I'm tracking the sun. But I'm going to tell you what I do. Now, I don't know if this is going to work for you. I get up there with my tree trimmer and I trim back some of those limbs so I can let a little bit more of that sunlight in. Because just about everything you're going to want to grow as like an annual vegetable or, or even your herbs, they're going to want that full sun.
Right.
So try to see if you can open up and make a little bit more light. That would
Uh,
be my recommendation.
Now you could grow things like some gingers or some coffee. I'm not coffee. Well,
Hostas.
coffee's going to be too cold for coffee. He might not be too cold for coffee. He might be able to do coffee up there. And turmeric. Turmeric is another great plant for shady areas as well.
Yeah, and you can do hostas. They love shady areas. Most people try to put them in full sun, and it never works. I have a commentary for one of the people in our comments. We have somebody in our comments who is very gung ho. I love gung ho people, and we have somebody who's answering questions. They referenced official professional gardener. They referenced that honey cinnamon and cinnamon powder has IBA, especially for hard to root plants. I'm just asking if you send a link to that, that'll be dope. I love to learn, and even though IBA is a synthetic compound and is not typically found in plants, I would love to be proven wrong. So I'm just going to, make that request. We can keep going.
Oh yeah, and I know professional gardeners, so I'll get him to send me that stuff. All right, Andre, my avocado tree is 3 feet. I repotted it, but I want to graft. I will come see you when I am out of my contract in PA.
They're going to come see you.
All right, well, gotcha.
Nice.
I tried to go yellow peppers. They all came out small. Was it because I grew them in a pot?
How big was the
Well,
pot?
How big is the
well,
pot? Yeah.
How big was the pot? If you are growing them in a pot this size, then yeah.
yeah,
Right.
that's going to
They
be a
need a
big
lot of
determination.
nutrients. Yeah, peppers are voracious feeders. They probably need more
They
nutrients
are.
than they were getting. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, and you might have got some, might have had some root binding issues too. So yeah, first you
Mm.
got to tell us how big that pot is.
Oh yeah. And lastly, just make sure you weren't growing like mini peppers, because some people will be like, they were so small, and I was like, oh, you accidentally grew cherry tomatoes.
Or yeah, like your Tabasco peppers, right? Tabasco peppers,
Hmm.
made in, started in Avery Island, Louisiana. I mean, they're really tiny peppers. Oh, she said it was a large pot though.
Oh, it's a large
Okay.
pot, then.
Hmm.
Yeah, then it might be what Andre was mentioning. They're voracious eaters, so fertilization and water, and then what Gray was mentioning about with like being root bound or just root issues in general.
Yeah, and you're going to be looking for like a sandy loam type mixture of soil, like basically the same type of soil you would mix like for your tomatoes, and then nutrients. They're big eaters, so you're going to be looking for a lot of phosphorus, a lot of potassium for that root development and that fruit growth.
Yes, science.
Yes, music. That would be called a cocktail tree. Trees that have multiple grafts on them. I have a small space. Will a dwarf myron tree do well in zone 9? I think they might mean mango tree.
I think they were saying moringa because I feel like official professional answered them.
Mm.
Okay. Uh,
I mean,
Do either
I
of you
do.
grow? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I have a moringa. I have two moringas potted on my deck, and they're small because moringas they are insane growers. I mean, in the ground they can grow 11 feet, like
Wow.
in 1 year. But mine right now are about 7 feet, and they're only 1 year old. But that's because they are in containers, so I'm kind of maintaining that low growth by keeping them kind of stifled.
All right.
Mm.
There's a little bit of misinformation here that I just can't let go by. All avocados are wild trees. I'm not sure what that even means,
Oh, I
but
didn't even see
I've
that.
never seen a wild avocado. I think a wild avocado would look very different in terms of fruit than the fruits that you're used to as an avocado. I would imagine that a truly wild avocado probably would not be recognizable as an avocado with what it produces.
You know what? They might mean wild is in crazy. Like
Mm.
all avocados are crazy trees. They might not produce some years and probably
Ah,
independently from
maybe that's
branch.
what they mean. Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
That
that's
makes more
what it is.
sense.
That's what I mean. Yeah, my moringa, for some reason, my moringa was super slow growing for years. For
Mm.
years, it was super slow growing. And we just had the hurricanes knock down some trees. I pruned it back this spring, and that thing's grown like probably about 10 feet since this summer. It's just taken off completely now. It was all about the light. Moringa loves to be in full sun.
Yeah,
Mm.
subtropical tree, they need to have that sun. But wait, I think you got to tell the people, Andre. You can't just say you prune a tree. Because y'all don't notice about Andre. Andre is like the tree terminator when he comes to
Is
pruning.
he?
He will just hack and slash. I'm like, oh, what are you doing, Andre? But it
Yeah.
works.
No, I go hard. I go hard. Like that tree was probably, it was spindly, and it was probably like, the problem I was having with it was over the years what would happen is I would cut, it'd be like, let's say it'd be 8 feet tall. I'd cut it to four
Mm-mm.
feet. And instead of branching out, it would just make one new branch. And
Mm-mm.
then I'd cut that one and it'd make one new branch. But now it's got a bunch of branches. It's going crazy. I've got a bunch of leaves. I should really harvest a bunch of these leaves, but I already have moringa powder, and I've just got more than I know what to do with. I might just use it as chop and drop.
That's a great
Um,
idea.
yeah.
Now, I just talked to a gentleman in Houston who has a moringa farm, which I totally wish I could do it if my climate allowed for it, because it's great for soil. It's a great soil fixer. It'll add nutrients back into the soil. And he has a moringa tree farm with over 200 trees. And he said he's growing 4 different varieties, and he's going to send me a couple of pods up here to Dallas because I told him about my idea of wanting to fix some of those areas where I have troubled soil. For instance, like the area where I have all of that poison ivy, I want to
Uh-huh.
grow in a couple of rows of moringa trees to try to add some nutrients back after, of course, tilled up all of that poison ivy root.
So
Have
you're
you
going to
guys
be
heard about?
adding them in? I'm sorry, I just got to interrupt real quick. So you're going to be adding them in to help your soil out,
Yeah.
and then you're going to probably prune them in the way that Andre be pruning?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go straight tree terminator, and every fall, what I'm gonna do is just hack them all down, harvest
Uh-huh.
everything I can, and what I'm gonna be
Uh-huh.
doing is growing them like an annual plant every year.
So they're going to be really helping you to retain some of the stuff that you be doing, right? This is another
Yes,
ad space. That's right. I never let people know what I'm doing. When it comes to you pruning, right? Use your retain. Your tools deserve to be loved. It lubricates, it sanitizes, it does everything you could ever need for your plants. Retain, get you your spray. It's so easy to use. A little spritz will do you. It's organic. I could probably, or maybe not organic. It's made of oregano oil. It's made of natural. Oh, it is certified organic. I could probably eat this. We're not going to do it today, but it is an amazing thing
Hey,
for you to
you
use.
can
What you
probably
gonna
cook
say?
with it. Could you cook
You
with it?
you probably could. It's oregano oil. I wonder if it's food grade, but either way, it's oregano oil, 1% and some water. So it can add a nice little taste.
I
Just
thought you
think
were gonna
about
take
it.
a. I thought you were gonna take a sip there, Gray.
Yeah,
no, no.
you know, you can get it at the Walmarts. You can get it all over. But go, Retain is in the comments right now. Those of you watching this later, get you some Retain today. So go ahead and keep going.
All right.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely
Someone
right. So
asked.
once I hack down all of those trees, I'm gonna make sure I lube up all of my saws and all of my tools with my retain.
Yep. So someone asked a question about vanilla bean, ice cream bean. Ice cream bean. I can't remember what the question was. It was way early on before we were answering questions. Just we asked that question again, and we'll see if we
They
get to.
wanted to know about, I think, growing it in Florida and being able to upkeep it outdoors. I can't see that because I left and came back because my comments, everything froze.
Yes,
But
I have one outdoors right now. I have one in Orlando. It's outdoors. It's huge, but they get really big before they actually flower. That's one thing I can say. Mine is like 12, 15 feet tall, no flowers yet.
and I can't remember. I don't know in your part of Florida if you would have the natural pollinators, because if you don't, and there are native vanilla species to Florida, but if you don't have pollinators, party people, you have to pollinate this by hand, and it's a very specific, like
Right.
nuanced way you have to do it. And that way was discovered by an enslaved child named Edmus Albius when he was 12.
Yep. Now I'll tell you what. When I was in Dominica the last time, I learned how to pollinate vanilla bean, but
I
he's
bet you
actually
did.
talking about ice cream bean.
Oh, I thought he was talking. What is an ice cream bean? What is that? Let me look this up.
That's a different plant. That's a tree. Like vanilla bean is the vine. It's an orchid, right? But ice cream bean is like a tree, and it produces a
Can,
big bean pod. And inside that bean pod are seeds, and around those seeds is like this white stuff that's like cotton candy.
I've seen this before. Is it good?
I had one that I got from a market one time, and it was all right. But I don't think it was the best
Okay.
thing. I don't think it was the best example of one. And there's also different varieties of it as well with different taste.
Oh my goodness gracious! I'm gonna look into this. I wonder if I can go this here. Y'all keep going.
Now, we have a question in the comments, and this is from Absta. I believe I'm saying their name correctly. She wants to know, do we have day jobs, or is everything we do all centered around plants? And I just lost the feed on YouTube. So let's see if I can jump back on. But do we have day jobs? Andre, do you have a day job, sir?
I do have a day job. I'm an orthodontist at Baptiste Orthodontics here in Orlando and Apopka, Florida. Been doing that for 20 something years now.
Wow. While he's fixing his stuff, you might have to cut your camera on and off because I see you're still up here, but I don't know what's happening on your end on YouTube. Um, I work in a pharmaceutical company. I used to work in a greenhouse space that was also pharmaceuticals, but I no longer do that because the company went under. It went under, but it's like it just froze on you. Are you? There you go. You just it put you out all the way.
Yeah.
Um, mm, Child the ghetto. See, the internet be hating on us because we black people trying to talk some real knowledge, but we ain't gonna be bothered. So, nonetheless, and that's what I do. What do you do, Gray? Tell the people.
Well, actually, I'm an entrepreneur. So, yes, while I am a master gardener and I'm always giving consultations, selling plants, I'm also a nursery, certified nursery through the state of Texas. But I'm also a mobile mechanic. I actually have a mobile mechanic business by the name of Impressive Automotive. That's because of my love of Star Wars, and I couldn't call it most impressive because Disney might sue me. But I digress. Mobile mechanic, and I drive to customers' locations and I fix their vehicles right there in their driveways. And having that flexibility, being able to make my schedule on the go allows me to be here for my kids so that I can do their homeschooling. And then, yes, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm starting my day out in my garden. So I can actually position my schedule around what I'm doing in the garden that day.
Now, I'll
That
tell you
must be
what, when
nice.
you get out in the garden at 5 o'clock in the morning, there's got to be a lot of bugs out.
So many
Woo!
mosquitoes. So many mosquitoes biting me.
This is the solution right here. Sonya's bug spray. It'll be like it's noon when you go out there at 5 o'clock in the morning because there will be no mosquitoes bothering you at all. This stuff feels like lotion. It doesn't even feel like bug spray. This stuff is made with all natural ingredients. It's weird. Everything that we promote, it's all natural. All of our sponsors are all natural. That's a coincidence or what? I don't know.
Mm,
Anyways,
That's
all
good. Yeah.
natural feels like lotion. This is something you could put on when you get out of the shower. You can rub this all over your body. You'll smell like lemongrass all day, and it doesn't feel sticky or yucky like bug spray. Great stuff.
Yeah, I love it. And when I'm waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, that's first thing. While I'm drinking my coffee, I'm putting on my Sony's bug spray, putting on my armor before I go to war with pests.
yes, war. And I mean, speaking of that, since y'all are wearing this, and I just eat a bunch of crazy stuff, so no bugs really bother me. Have y'all ever been attacked by a dinosaur or a elephant or woolly mammoth while y'all wearing this?
No, never, never, not
Never.
once.
So there we go. Y'all see how strong it is?
It's that powerful. Listen, so we got a question. Try to grow a soursop from seed. Any recommendations? I would say be patient with the seed because sometimes those Anona seeds can take a long time to actually germinate.
Right.
However, once it does, it will grow fast. And you got to be in a warm climate because they can't tolerate cold at all. So you have to be in at least zone, I'd say you're pushing it in zone 9B. You really want to be in 10A. You really want to be in 10B or 11 to grow soursop outside.
We love to see it. They had another question. Are we starting our fall veggies? I haven't started any seeds yet on the fall. I should have already started some, but I'm just enjoying. It's really got awful hot here in Carolina, guys. So I'm just kind of waiting because the fall probably won't really be for us until the end of October, probably the end of November when we actually get real fall season. What about y'all?
I got to correct Professor Gardner. You can grow soursop in a pot. Anything you can grow in the ground as a tree, you can also grow in the pot. You might just need a large pot, but you can grow things in the pot as well. Sorry, what was the question? Sorry.
Your fall gardening. Have y'all started y'all
Oh,
fall gardening?
man, we are so far from fall in Central Florida right now.
Same here. It's so hot here. I'm not thinking like I'm considering it because I want to grow a lot of greens. I would love to grow a bunch of more irises and some fall and winter flowers. But also I know once the temperature drops below 70, I don't want to be outside anymore. So what about you, Gray? What you growing for your fall?
Well, just like you gentlemen, I mean, I'm in zone 8A, 8B in Dallas. So I I have an extended growing season. So with that extended growing season, I do have fall tomatoes, fall cucumbers that I've started because I do succession planting. So once, I mean, because yesterday I think we hit like 101. It gets too hot, those tomatoes and those cucumbers, they're gonna stop producing. So when I have those high heats, I go in and I start planting all of my new crops. For instance, because I'm all about showing, right? Show and tell.
Show us.
Here is my new crop of cucumbers coming right on in here. And I'm gonna just cover up that brand name because they're not a sponsor. But I mean, if you want a sponsor, go
Mm.
ahead and reach out to any one of us.
Hey, are we doing show and tell? I got to show something too. I'm going to be right back.
Yeah, come on, show and
Oh,
tell
we're
day.
showing and telling. I what's the show and tell?
So these are some burpless cucumbers that I have growing here because again, I have that extended growing season. So I consider these my fall cucumbers. So I'm kind of continuous grow. Of course, I'll also have all of my leafy greens that I'm going to be starting soon. But yeah, I'm always germinating. I'm always planting because honestly, germination is my favorite part of it. Seeing that new life unfold for me is like the bee's knees to me. So yeah, I'm always going.
Yes,
24/7,
B man.
365.
So after work today, I did my little walk through the garden. So in the morning when I get up, I walk through the garden. When I get home from work, I walk through the garden, especially this time of year because there's stuff happening. So was able to harvest a couple mangoes, star fruit,
Ooh, look at that starfish. That's beautiful.
guava,
Nice.
one little passion fruit,
Ooh.
and two sapodillas today. And I
Ooh.
kind of dropped this one on the ground and I dented the bottom, so I'm gonna probably eat this one tonight.
Now the sapodillas. I was
Yes.
watching your TikTok, and you and mom were tasting out the sapodillas, weren't you?
Yeah, they're so good.
You said they taste like brown sugar. I'm like, man, I want some of that.
They do taste like brown sugar. I'll tell you what. Um, if I come to PlantCon in Dallas, I will bring you a couple.
Oh man, you are the best. You are the best, my brother.
How do
We're
you know your
showing
different
it.
zones? You got to go online. You look online and look for a map. You put growing zones, USDA growing zones, and you'll find it. What you got there? What are you showing us?
I got my purple queen, my trade scantia, along with a variegated kind of beautiful looking philodendron, and then another philodendron. These are some props I've been propping. I took them out to put on my plant wall over here to kind of liven it up. I will show you my Christmas cactus, but you won't remember it. But it is beautiful, beautiful plants, house plants. And I got this from a mother at an event, this older black woman who refused to let me leave without it. And I told her I really don't want this. It doesn't go with my style. And she said, no, baby, you can give it to your girlfriend. And I said, I am single. There's nobody there. So I still got it.
Nice. I love the
Ever
Phillies.
planted red mustard? Anyone ever planted red mustard? Someone said it's a beautiful green.
I have not.
No, but it makes me again think of that red velvet lettuce. That has traumatized me. So hopefully red mustard tastes better than that red velvet lettuce. But no, I have not.
Oh, what variety? This was a Valencia Pride. This is a Valencia Pride. All I got left on the trees now are Valencia Prides, Malakas, and one Namdak Mai. That's it.
Nice, nice. How long? Because didn't you just pick up what was it called, the purple tie?
The purple ties, yes.
So how long you think you're gonna see? Wait till you see fruit on it.
Oh no, I bought it last year. I planted it, and we got 3 fruit off it this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. Well, the problem was one, I picked too early. It wasn't really ripe when we cut it. And the other one, we got it kind of at a pretty good time, but I don't think it was optimal. It was still good. And then the third one, we picked it, and then we went to Mexico for 10 days, and we left it in the fridge, and it just stunted its development completely. And when it came
Hmm.
out, it was almost frozen. Cut it, it was not good at all. So I really only got to try one of them. Next year, hopefully, we get more than 3, and we can really get a good taste of it.
Now you just reminded me of something. All right, so I don't know if you guys remember when I was talking about this hack. You know, I don't talk about garden hacks often, but this is one I was telling you about as far as trying to mature up or ripen up your fruit sooner, right? So I went to the grocery store, and you know, because I can't grow my mangoes out here, I had to go to the grocery store mango, but it wasn't ripe. It was very hard. So I was like, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mango and I'm going to put it on my kitchen counter right next to my apples because of that
Hmm.
ethylene that's in apples will help speed up that ripening process so I can go and cut into it and we'll have some nice, good tasting mango or all right tasting mango because I mean, they're not the Andre mangoes. Yes. You want to say something, Derek?
I'm reading. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no,
All right.
go ahead.
So I went ahead and again, ADHD gardener, 2 days, walked away from that mango, completely forgot about it, and I looked at the counter and there was fruit flies flying all over this thing because it was just mush. I mean, it had ripened it
Oh,
way too fast on me. Well, at least I didn't remember to pay attention to it, you know? So
yeah.
we missed out on that mango.
A lot of times we'll put it in a paper bag and we'll put like an apple or we'll put like a banana peel inside the bag and just close the bag and put it in the garage. So let it sit there for a couple days. That'll ripen them up real fast too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
There was a question here. I have a wild dandelion, and when I pulled it out of the ground and put it in a pot, it died. If it grows back, is it edible?
That's the one
I
I
don't
was reading. If you, if it does grow back, yes, it will be edible, potentially, depending on the species of dandelion it is, because some species are not edible. So unless you are able to identify which one is edible, then yes, if it's like the typical Taraxacum officinale or officinalis, the basic like common dandelion we're all used to seeing, then yes, they're edible. But also if you're growing it and then it was like sprayed with like any pesticides or herbicides, I would still wait a year even after it comes back just to harvest like the seed and grow from that generation just to be sure.
We got
Yeah,
one
and
more
that's
question.
always important when harvesting. I'm not harvesting, but foraging. Make sure you can clearly identify the plant.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Someone asked, can we cook? Do we cook with the exotic things that we grow? Great. Can you cook?
All day, every day, twice on Sunday. Like, yes, I love to cook. I mean, get me behind a grill, get me on the stove, get me anywhere. I can even bake too. You know, I don't believe in gender specific roles around here. I'm gonna do some cooking today.
I hear you. Derek, what
Y'all,
about you?
y- y'all think I got this heavy just by eating alone? I got to be able to feed this machine. This is 300 something pounds of meat here. I got to do something. So yes, I learned how to cook literally right before the pandemic. I took a cooking class at my local cooperative extension office for free 99, taught me knife skills and how to cook, and I have never looked back.
So, you mean that's not all lean cuisine? Yeah, that's not all lean cuisine.
Oh God, no. I used to do a lot of frozen dinners, and now I look back like, what was I thinking? Yuck.
Yeah,
You
I
know, it
love to
reminds
cook.
me
I
of
love to
those.
cook.
You love to cook. You cook too, right,
Oh,
Andre?
I love to cook. Yeah, yeah.
To see, them college days back at Louisiana State University, eating that ramen noodle got old real fast. I was like, nah, we need to do something up in here.
I,
Yes, do something up in here.
about that, ramen noodles, I think are grossly underrated. I feel like I'm rediscovering ramen noodles now, and you can do a lot with some ramen noodles. You can make some really good dishes with some ramen noodles. I'll
You
tell you
could do a lot with ramen noodles. The first thing you do is not pick them up in the grocery store. The second thing you do
that.
is throw them away in
See,
your house.
no, you see, the problem is you're young. You're still at that stage where ramen noodles was the cheap food, but it cycles back, right? And
It
over
does cycle
time,
back.
then you go to a restaurant, nice restaurant, and you get a good ramen. You're like,
Now, a
damn.
good ramen bowl, real ramen is good. Like Indomie, I've had, which is like Nigerian kind of ramen noodles, best way I can describe it. Indomie is amazing, and like season that up. But now I'm like, you know what? All that salt and sodium, meh.
Ah, well, listen, we are out of time, guys. We are out of time. We are going to be back next Monday, guys. Any parting words? Any parting words, guys?
Yes, make sure if you still have questions that we didn't get to, send us them questions in the comments on the replay. Put your questions right there because we review those questions and we consider them for the next episode. For instance,
Yep.
we had a question last week and we just didn't get to it this week. It was about composting, but we are definitely going to talk about composting again. So make sure you drop those comments. Tell us what you want us to talk about because we're here to help you.
Hey, let's make the next episode about composting.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
let's compost it up. And I think to that point, I want y'all to think about your friends, your families, your loved ones, your enemies, your next door neighbors, the people at your church, the people at any local cult you might be a part of, the people you go and see in the locker rooms or the bathrooms. And you accost everybody and show them this show. And you tell them to watch it because they need it and you care for them. Okay? Grab them, grab their phone, make sure they're following.
All right, guys. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, follow, and follow the Urban Garden with Greg. Follow Chocolate Botanist and follow me. Well, you probably follow me because you're watching it here. All right. See you guys. Bye.